The story begins. It was a late summer evening, the sky painted in hues of orange and purple as the sun began its descent. Alex, a young National Service member, was stationed at a remote research center. The center, surrounded by expansive fields, was off-limits to the general public, a realm of secretive experiments and scientific advancement. Security guards manned the gates, ensuring no unauthorized entry. Alex shared the living quarters with a couple of fellow recruits and a research assistant. As the clock struck 5, the center emptied, leaving only the four of them amidst the sprawling grounds. Upon arrival, they were warned repeatedly by the staff about the potential dangers lurking in the fields at dusk. The summer months brought venomous snakes like copperheads and cobras, a threat not to be taken lightly. Despite the warnings, Alex and his companions often went jogging in the evenings, finding solace in the vast emptiness of the center. The wide concrete paths between fields offered a sense of freedom and tranquility. Alex relished the solitude, feeling as though he was the only person left in the world. He convinced himself to stay close to the dorms and greenhouses, avoiding the deeper fields. One evening, as June waned into July, Alex's fellow recruit and the research assistant decided to visit the nearby night market. Alex and another recruit, feeling lazy, opted to stay behind and jog before dinner. They changed into their running clothes and set off towards the fields, the evening air cool against their skin. After a few minutes of running together, they naturally split at a crossroad, each taking a different path. Alex continued straight, his feet pounding rhythmically against the concrete. As he passed the fields, he suddenly heard the unmistakable sound of a bicycle approaching from behind. The noise was unsettlingly close, as if someone was right on his heels. Turning around, he expected to see the security guard on patrol, but the path behind him was empty. A chill ran down his spine, but he dismissed it as a trick of the wind or the distant hum of machinery. Yet the sound persisted, a phantom cyclist shadowing his every step. Moments later, his recruit companion caught up to him, asking breathlessly if Alex had heard the bicycle too. They exchanged uneasy glances, both unnerved by the invisible presence. As they ran, the sound of the bicycle grew louder, impossibly close. They fell silent, straining to hear, their hearts pounding in their chests. The recruit suggested they turn around to see if someone was following them. Alex hesitated, fear clawing at his gut, but agreed to the plan. On the count of 3, they both turned, but Alex feigned ignorance, not daring to look. His companion, however, did turn back, his face draining of color. Alex teased him, trying to lighten the mood, but the recruit remained silent, his eyes wide with fear. Anxiety gnawed at Alex, the silence between them heavy with unspoken dread. Suddenly, out of the corner of his eye, Alex saw a figure dart across the path ahead. It was the recruit, unmistakably wearing the same clothes. Confusion gripped Alex. If his companion was ahead, who had been running beside him? The realization was chilling, and he felt the icy grip of fear tighten around his heart. The bicycle sound persisted, but now the figure that had been beside him was running parallel in the fields. It wore the recruit's clothes, but its face was unfamiliar, a grotesque parody of a grin twisting its features. Alex's blood ran cold, the realization that this was no human companion sinking in. His mind raced, and he called out to the recruit ahead, desperate to reach safety. The recruit, hearing Alex's cries, picked up speed, seemingly oblivious to the terror pursuing them. Alex pushed himself harder, adrenaline surging through his veins as he closed the distance. The entity in the field, with its unnaturally exaggerated movements, kept pace, its eyes never leaving Alex. When Alex finally reached his companion, he hooked an arm around his neck, pulling him to a halt. Breathless and terrified, they exchanged hurried explanations. The recruit recounted how Alex had urged him to turn around, a chilling echo of Alex's own experience. They realized something malevolent was mimicking them, trying to lure them into a trap. With the entity no longer in sight, they resumed their flight, eager to reach the safety of the dorms. As they neared the building, they spotted a figure on a bicycle across the fields, moving at an unsettlingly synchronized pace. It wasn't the security guard. His bicycle was parked by the dorms. Panic flared anew, and they sprinted the last few meters, bursting through the doors and locking them behind. Outside, the entity stood at the edge of the field, its gaze fixed on the dorms. When the security guard approached, Alex and the recruit breathlessly recounted their ordeal. The guard, surprisingly calm, advised them to stay indoors and lock the doors at night. He revealed that the entity often mimicked voices and chased people, but never left the fields. Despite the guard's reassurances, Alex and his companion remained uneasy, haunted by the night's events. Later that night, as the recruit headed to the kitchen, he caught sight of the entity outside the glass doors. Its hands were pressed against the glass, as if peering inside, its presence a chilling reminder that it could come closer than they'd thought. The recruit froze, a scream caught in his throat as he backed away slowly. The entity, however, remained at the threshold, its eyes unblinking, its grin forever etched in the recruit's nightmares. The story ends. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Mr. Macabre for more twisted tales that keep the darkness alive.